You're listening to Living in Spain podcasts with David Wright.
So today on my show, I've got a special guest. I've got Bev from Homes for Homes. It's an estate agent family-run business here in Almeria. Hi Bev, and welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, David?
Great. Okay, so Bev, I get asked a lot about estate agents here in Spain. Now, do you need to be registered here, or can anyone set up? I think there's some registration coming in. Tell us a little bit about that.
Not in this area at the moment of Andalusia. We're in Arbeláez, Almeria, so we're inland. That doesn't mean the legislation won't hit us, but at this moment in time, you're not forced to have any licence. In my opinion, sadly, but because there's a lot of, let's say, sheep in wolf's clothing, is that the saying? That would get a bit of a scare if they had to adhere to this licence. Obviously, it's my, as a business owner or the founder of Homes for Homes, I make it my business to know what is right, what's wrong, what's coming, what's not, and what we need to prepare for. It is coming. I think the Valencia region at the minute is the start, and then which way it'll go up and down the country, I don't know.
I always tell people that a recommendation is the best way to go, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. And that's where we get a lot of our business here locally, through recommendation. But equally, we as a business, we advertise a lot on the portals, the advertising portals. So the listeners will be familiar with A Place in the Sun, Zoopla, Quiero. Well, they ask us to tick boxes, if you like, do we adhere to honesty, integrity, complaints books, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And with an office and a registered office which is registered with the town hall here in Arbeláez. So there are some sort of unwritten rules, if you like.
So another question I get asked quite a bit is about British people that are thinking of moving over to Spain, but they're not actually resident here just yet, but they can still buy, can't they?
Absolutely correct, yes. So those who are non-residents, they can still buy a holiday home here. They would only be able to come 90 days out of the 180 on the Schengen chart. There's a calendar there if people want to Google it. Those people that have bought holiday homes or are buying holiday homes, post-Brexit now, they have to look at a visa. So an NLV, which is a non-lucrative visa, most people take because they're coming here to retire. So non-lucrative, it is what it says on the tin. You can't work here, you're retired, which is great.
So people always say to me, well, post-Brexit, it's difficult now with all the requirements and stuff, but there's a lot of building work going on where I am and quite a few properties for sale. So how have you found it post-Brexit?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing post-Brexit was getting people to understand what Brexit meant for people coming here to Spain. I think we've done a great job in getting people to understand that. But yes, you do. If you want to come and live here now, you've got to be able to prove your income. The marketplace is buoyant. There is still a lot of building going on, not where we are because we're inland, but when I go to Almeria, go down to Malaga, up to Murcia, you can see the cranes on the skylines. So sadly, it has put a few people off, those that were depending on just their state UK pension. They're not able to do that now, come and retire here because the entry level financially is just too high for them. Whether that'll change, I personally think it will change, but maybe hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years. But the non-lucrative visa now is not the only visa you can get. You can get the nomad visa, a working visa, but the marketplace is buoyant. I mean, here in Arbeláez, when we can't get enough properties, the demand is that high, and that's not just us. It's all our collaborators and other agents around the area. We're scrambling for properties. So if you are thinking to sell, or thinking about selling, now is definitely the time to do it.
So paying deposits now, let's talk about that a little bit. So if somebody's found a place that they've fallen in love with here and they want to put a deposit, it's around 2,000 or 3,000. How does that work? Is it a percentage of the property or is it a lump sum? How does that work?
No. So when you've had your offer accepted, we draw up a reservation contract, and with that reservation contract, the buyer pays a €3,000 reservation deposit. We are probably one of the only agents locally that does not take those deposits. We ask the buyers to lodge that with their solicitor's holding bank account, because then if there's anything wrong with the paperwork going forward, and they need to pull out, we don't have the 3,000 reservation deposit, the solicitor does. And guess what? 100% of the time, they get the money back. Whereas a lot of agents, the people, I hear the horror stories, they struggle to get that 3,000 deposit back. So we don't take them, but it is 3,000. The second part of deposit, David, is where after 4 weeks, the buyers then pay the rest of the 10%. So simple maths, if you bought a house at €200,000, after 4 weeks and the due diligence has been done on your property by your solicitor and said, yes, everything's good to go, then the 3,000's already lodged, then you've got another 17,000 to pay at 4 weeks, and then the rest is paid at notary, which is usually, our average contract is 12 weeks. So the next 8 weeks, you can go to notary whenever suits both parties.
Brilliant.
But those are the only two amounts of money that you actually have to, take from your bank and do transfers.
So we Brits do like a bit of a bargain, and you can get some good bargains here in Spain at the moment. So can you give us a bit of an idea? What can you get for your money, a house-wise or an apartment? What's the sort of average price? I know it's a bit difficult. It might be a bit difficult off the top of your head, but can you give us some idea?
We are no, it's not hard actually. We're inland, so if the apartments we sell are very different. They're not with sea views because we're a 30-minute drive from Mahaca, but we do have the odd ones down the coast, and you're probably looking at about 140,000 euros for a 1-2 bed apartment down there. The closer the sea you get, obviously everything goes up, not just the property prices, the drinks, the food, everything. Come inland and you get a lot more for your money. I mean, at the moment, I've got a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment in the village of Arbeláez for less than 90,000 euros.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, you do get a lot more for your money coming inland. The average villa, which is without stairs, so bungalow, like as you sounds really funny calling it a bungalow.
Yeah.
But yeah, a villa without any steps and stairs. The average is 3-bed, 2-bath villa with a pool. The average at the moment is about 230,000 euros. So you're getting a lot for your money compared to what they're selling in the UK. We've got people selling houses £500,000 upwards.
Yeah.
But they don't, here in Arbeláez and the surrounding area, if you've got 250,000 euros, you've got a lot, and that will buy you a lot at home. Maybe a garage, maybe a separate casita, definitely a pool. So
that's pretty good. And some bargains still to be had here in Spain.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, people are astounded. I've just had a couple this week. They bought a 3-bed, 2-bath villa without a pool. They can't put the local council town hall in Partoló won't allow them to put in an in-ground pool, but they can have an above-ground pool. They've just bought that. It's just a little bit dated. They've just bought that for 140,000 euros.
Yeah. How many bedrooms was that?
Amazing. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, big plot, nearly 1,000 square metre plot. So, but it just needs a little bit of updating. It's key ready. But if they spend 40,000 euros on it. They've got a house there then that's probably worth in excess of 220,000 euros, but they're buying it for retirement. So they've gone away very happy from my office yesterday.
Yeah.
When they
It's
signed
good
the
value, still good.
contract.
And with the news that's coming out on the television, the Spanish television this week, that the airlines are getting together, they're selling an extra 70,000 tickets to Andalusia this year alone. So that's going to bring in some extra clients for sure. Yeah, and I heard on the news the other night that these airlines here in this part of Spain are getting together and they're selling an extra 70,000 tickets this year alone for Andalusia. So that's pretty good news.
Absolutely. And we hope to benefit from that as we do the local TV programmes that go on here. You know, Arbeláez in Almeria is highlighted in many of the programmes. A Place in the Sun, which we've just finished filming with. You know, all the New Life in the Sun, that it's Mahaka's featured. It comes inland. So this area is well sought after.
That's great. Well, thanks very much for the information, Bev. And if anybody needs any help buying or selling a property here in Almeria, then contact Bev from Homes for Homes. I'll leave a link to their business, their website, and get in contact with them now and get yourself a bargain. Thanks very much for joining us on the show today, Bev.
No problem, David. Enjoy the rest of the programme.
Thank you.
If you have enjoyed this podcast by David Wright, then you will love his new books. Out now on Amazon and Kindle, packed with money-saving tips and information on living and working in Spain. Just go to livinginspainbooks.com. David also has a popular blog for expats in Spain. Come and take a look now at britishexpatsinspain.com.